Yo, 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 yo. Back in full effect. DOZ 101. Um, Sorry that I haven't hit you guys up with a review in quite a while. Um, I just tried to make a SmackDown review a little bit ago, and it uploaded successfully, but then in the middle, the frickin' sound cut out on me. I hate when that happens. But anyway, you know who I am. This SmackDown review tonight has been brought to you by whatchamacallit. Buy some if you want to go to chocolate heaven really quickly and it tastes great. Whatchamacallit. Buy some now. Alright, anyway, let's get into SmackDown tonight. And SmackDown comes to us from my backyard of Baltimore, Maryland. Taker versus Kane. They reopen the show with SmackDown, with that happening here on SmackDown tonight. The Taker Kane recap. This is something that's been going on since before the dinosaurs died. Then we cut to them announcing Taker versus Punk in the main event, and then the gong goes off. Taker's in the ring, and he talked about how he had to always protect Kane from himself and others. And Taker's like, I got no problems kicking your ass at Night of Champions. And I still control the powers of the darkness. Well, no, I think Michelle McTaker might have something to say about that shit. He says Kane will always remember his older, wiser, more evil brother, and I would take my motherfucking title back. Taker says that no rules can contain us, so we're going to do a no-holds-barred match if that's okay with you. And then CM Punk comes out alone, clapping like... he tells everyone to stand and give Taker a round of applause for fitting his legendary status. Punk says after the pay-per-view, none of us will ever see Taker again, and he's enjoyed Taker going on his own downward spiral, seeing a broken down man who has won too many fights and is delusional. Jack Swagger versus MVP is the first match of the night. They showed a recap of MVP's VIP lounge, or Jack Swagger's VIP lounge. MVP added the fuck it, I'm gonna say his name. Chris Benoit German suplexes, triple German suplexes, but he only got 2 of them before Swagger elbowed out of the 3rd one. Swagger did an abdominal stretch on MVP through the ropes. MVP hit the ball and elbow, but Swagger slipped away before the 305. MVP followed, and Swagger kicked the steps into MVP's knee, leading to the ankle lock for the tap out. And then Lay Cool and Caval are in the back, and this was a funny promo. They're arguing over who would face Melina, saying Vicky would only let one of them fight Melina. And then Caval's like, this is my first night on SmackDown, and all I ever hear from you two is... And then they're like, rewind, real talk. They do this stupid Valley Girl shit. And then they're like, oh, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us. And then Caval, he just left. He said, fuck it. Okay, then we got a history promo between Taker and Kane. To my younger viewers, that if you guys have not seen Taker versus Kane, from 1990s, from the 90s, 97 till maybe SummerSlam of 98, I recommend you go watch that. I think you guys might like it, and you might learn a history lesson about Undertaker versus Kane. Then Tony Chimel announces Alberto Del Rio, his ring announcer. Who announced Alberto? Alberto Del Rio versus Rat Hardy. And Matt went back to camouflage pants and no singlet. Alberto hit Matt on the apron with a running enziguri that was real out on the apron. And Matt hit an inverted twist of fate, ending with an elbow drop for the count of 2, followed by a moonsault for the count of 2. They fought up top with Alberto dropping to the floor and hanging Matt with his gut, rammed to the post, followed by a flip cross armbar for the tap. Afterward, Christian came out to run off Alberto Del Rio. Come on, people, do it with me. Rio. That was actually a pretty good match. This is the first time that I saw Alberto Del Rio wrestle, and I thought it was a really good match. In regards to also Jack Swagger versus MVP, It was good for what it was. And then we go to Drew McIntyre versus Cabal. And Drew had a nasty suplex on the floor, landing Cabal on the apron. Cabal with a nice enzuigiri from the top rope, but Drew rolled out of the way before the Warrior's way. Cabal went for a Hurricane Rana, but then Drew powerbombed Cabal onto like the little barricade. And then back of the ring, Drew hit the Future Shock DDT, and Lay Cool came out after the match. Drew McIntyre won. Lay Cool came out, and they were all disgusted at how sweaty he was, but then they wanted to help him. And then we're going to skip this Cody Rhodes promo because, honestly, who gives a shit? Vicky and Caitlyn came out. Vicky kept berating Caitlyn's promo work, and she introduced Dolphin Dirt Diggler and Chavo, and they're going to take on the team of Kofi and Chris Masters. And Masters got his ass whooped until a hot tag. Kofi came in with a high spring clothesline, double clothesline spot. They did the classic spot where the heels make the tag. Ref can't see shit. And then Trouble in Paradise on Dolph for the 3 count. That was actually decent for what it was. And then we went to CM Punk, the Straight Edge or Sex Ed Society, whatever you want to call them, versus Taker. I'm not going to be able to go over this whole match. But Punk cut off everything Taker basically did. But then Punk got chokeslammed for the count of 2. Taker went for the tombstone, but Punk slipped out and hit the GTS. Punk took forever to go for the cover, but Taker got the GTS for the win. Or Taker got the Hell's Gate for the win. I'm sorry. I'm tired tonight, people. And then Taker went for the pose, and then Kane's pyros went off, and then they played back the tape record laughter about 50 times, and it was really annoying. Overall, tonight's SmackDown was overall a really, really solid show. I enjoyed it. I recommend checking it out, but don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. This episode of SmackDown has been brought to you by WrestlingRevolution.com and whatchamacallit, buy some right now. It tastes great. Whatchamacallit. Awesomeness. I am DOZ101, and hopefully this time it'll upload and you can hear me. And I am